Начинаешь снимать. Today is a very auspicious day. Nandotsav means the festival of Nanda Maharaj, and also appearance day of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. So yesterday we heard how Krishna appeared in this world and also how he was born also in Gokul Mahavan. So when Nanda Maharaj saw that he got a son, he was very happy. So it is written in Bhagavatam, Shukadev Goswami said, Nanda Maharaj was naturally very magnanimous, and when Lord Shri Krishna appeared as his son, he was overwhelmed by jubilation. Therefore, after bathing and purifying himself and dressing himself properly, he invited Brahmanas who knew how to recite Vedic mantras. After having these qualified Brahmanas recite auspicious Vedic hymns, he arranged to have the Vedic birth ceremony celebrated for his newborn child according to the rules and regulations, and he also arranged for worship of the demigods and forefathers. Nanda Maharaj gave 2 million cows, completely decorated with cloth and jewels, in charity to the Brahmanas. He also gave them 7 hills of grain, covered with jewels and with cloth decorated with golden embroidery. O king, by the passing of time, land and other material possessions are purified. By bathing, the body is purified. And by being cleansed, unclean things are purified. By purificatory ceremonies, birth is purified. By austerity, the senses are purified. And by worship and charity offered to the Brahmanas, material possessions are purified. By satisfaction, the mind is purified. And by self-realization or Krishna consciousness, the soul is purified. One may ask, how soul needs to be purified? Soul is not contaminated, is not composed of matter, anything contaminated. Is pure, transcendental. But Jiva has free will. So when Jiva misuses her free will and is not engaged in her natural function, that is impurity for the soul. That does not mean that she becomes matter or something, no. But her function is perverted now, impure. So by Krishna consciousness, means by devotion to Krishna, soul is purified of that impure state. The Brahmanas recited auspicious Vedic hymns which purified the environment by their vibration. The experts in reciting old histories like the Puranas, the experts in reciting the histories of royal families, and general reciters all chanted, whilst singers sang and many kinds of musical instruments like bharis and dundubis played in accompaniment. Brajapur, the residence of Nanda Maharaj, was fully decorated with varieties of festoons and flags, and in different places, gates were made with varieties of flower garlands, pieces of cloth, and mango leaves. The courtyards, the gates near the roads, and everything within the rooms of the houses were perfectly swept and washed with water. The cows, the bulls, and calves were thoroughly smeared with a mixture of turmeric and oil, that is curcuma, mixed with varieties of minerals. Their heads were bedecked with peacock feathers, and they were garlanded and covered with cloth and golden ornaments. O King Parikshit, the cowherd men, dressed very opulently with valuable ornaments and garments such as coats and turbans. Decorated in this way and carrying various presentations in their hands, they approached the house of Nanda Maharaj. The Gopi wives of the cowherd men were very pleased to hear that Mother Jashoda had given birth to a son, and they began to decorate themselves very nicely with proper dresses, ornaments, black ointment for the eyes, and so on. Their lotus-like faces, extraordinarily beautiful, being decorated with saffron and newly grown kunkuma, the wives of the cowherd men hurried to the house of Mother Jashoda with presentations in their hands. Because of natural beauty, the wives had full hips and full breasts, which moved as they hurried along. In the ears of the gopis were brilliantly polished jewel earrings, and from their necks hung metal lockets. Their hands were decorated with bangles, their dresses were of varied colors, and from their hair flowers fell onto the street like showers. Thus, while going to the house of Maharaj Nanda, the gopis, their earrings, breasts, and garlands moving, were brilliantly beautiful. Offering blessings to the newborn child, Krishna, the wives and daughters of cowherd men said, "May you become the king of Braja and long maintain all its inhabitants." They sprinkled a mixture of turmeric powder, oil, and water upon the birthless Supreme Lord and offered their prayers. Krishna is not having material birth due to past material actions. That is why it is called birthless. He is eternal. But birthless does not mean, like Mayavadis think, that there is no lila. No, he is doing lila. Janma karma chame divyam, Krishna says in Gita. My birth and my activities are divine. They are transcendental pastimes. So, although he is birthless, he performs the pastime of being born from Jashoda. Now that the all-pervading, unlimited Lord Krishna, the master of the cosmic manifestation, had arrived within the estate of Maharaj Nanda, various types of musical instruments resounded to celebrate the great festival. In gladness, the cowherd men enjoyed the great festival by splashing one another's bodies with a mixture of curd, condensed milk, butter, and water. They threw butter on one another and smeared it on one another's bodies. This is still going on today in Vrindavan. Radha Damodar temple and other temple, they will throw these items on Nandotsav out of happiness. The great-minded Maharaja Nanda gave clothing, ornaments and cows in charity to the cowherd man in order to please Lord Vishnu. Because he is following Varna Ashram Dharma, Nanda Maharaj. That is also Lila. He does not need to follow as a matter of upliftment because he is already eternal associate of Krishna. But this Lila is made as if they are following Varnashram Dharma. That is why he also engaged for the worship of demigods and forefathers. And he is also a worshipper of Narayan, Nanda Maharaj. Narayan is God in Vrindavan. And that is why Krishna also has tilak, because he is also the worshipper of Narayan. Narayan is God, so he has to be worshipped. So this is the Lila, Vrindavan Lila. And thus he improved the condition of his own son in all respects. He distributed charity to the Sutas, the Magadhas, the Vandis, and men of all other professions, according to their educational qualifications, and satisfied everyone's desires. The most fortunate Rohini, the mother of Baladev, was honored by Nanda Maharaj and Jashoda, and thus she also dressed gorgeously and decorated herself with a necklace, a garland, and other ornaments. She was busy wandering here and there to receive the women who were guests at the festival. O Maharaj Parikshit, the home of Nanda Maharaj is eternally the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his transcendental qualities, and is therefore always naturally endowed with the opulence of all wealth. Yet, beginning from Lord Krishna's appearance there, it became the place for the pastimes of the goddess of fortune. So this is the Nandotsav, festival of Nanda Maharaj, when he was very happy seeing he got a son. After a long time, he could not get a son, but then he got, so he was very happy, and all other Brajavasis, they were fully happy. So this festival happened today, and he was distributing, and in all Krishna temples on today's day, they will also distribute large quantities of prasad as a Nandotsav. Today is also appearance day of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. If any of you would like to say something about him, then you write to me here in chat so that I know to keep time. If not, then I will try to remember. So I will start, but if any one of you want to speak something, you let me know. You all know Srila Sai Maharaj because we are all graced by him. He appeared in Calcutta, Toliganj. I once went there to his birthplace many years back. At that time, it was not developed. ISKCON just bought that place. It was already in their possession, but nothing was developed. Now it is developed, but when I was there, that time just some sign was there, and we bowed down and prayed for the grace. And in the family of devotees, his father was follower of Nityananda, one Vangsha, and there was one temple there, Radha Govinda temple. He is still there. You can go to that temple. So since birth, he was already Vaishnava. He also wrote in Bhagavad Gita that this is my fortune, that I was born in Vaishnava family. So from birth I was trained in the service of Krishna, and many childhood plays he had, like Jagannath Ratha Yatra, and that you know. So then he met Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur at Gauriya Math, and was fully attracted, seeing he is not ordinary person, transcendental person, Vaikuntha man, not of this world, descended from spiritual world to this world. And immediately Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he told him, you will have to spread the teaching of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in English language. And later on he repeated many times this instruction to him. And then later on he took initiation and everything. Was not living in Gauriya Math as a member, like a brahmacharya, but as a grihasta he was serving in Gauriya Math, whatever was there, and in different places in India, also Bombay and like this, and writing some articles for Harmonist, that English magazine. And when he was in Bombay, then he heard that Prabhupada is sick, so he might, playing the pastime of being sick, so he might leave this world. So that time he wrote him one letter that I am here as a grihasta. I am trying to earn money, hardship, because in Calcutta he could not be successful. So he went to Bombay, but there also was not so much successful. Then he wrote a letter to Prabhupada that I am unfortunate, all my God brothers, they are serving you, but I am a useless person. I am only wasting my time and this, so you please order me, you give me some service that I can serve you also. Then again, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he wrote to him in letter, you have good hold over English, so you can spread the teaching of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in English. Then Sai Maharaj, getting this order, he started publishing some magazines and writings and articles in English, and was distributing how much it was possible. And then he went also to Allahabad. There he also was connected with the Gauriya Math, and there also with Srila Maharaj, like this. So he was trying to fulfill the desire of his Gurudev. Then by Krishna's arrangement, his wife became instrumental. She did something which helped him to finally give her up and family life, so that he could go to Vrindavan. And as a Vanaprastha first, he was staying there, Then he also took sannyas from Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj in Mathura and got the name Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, not AC. Keshav Gosai Maharaj did not keep AC, but Srila Sai Maharaj later, when he was preaching in America, he added that AC also. And in Damodar temple, he was doing bhajan there. You know, his room is there, you saw. And praying for the grace of all Goswamis and publishing English. And one time when he was doing parikrama of Radha Damodar, there is this samadhi, Pushpa Samadhi of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also there. So one day he felt that again Prabhupada is ordering him from within, and also in dream he got that you should go to preach in Western countries. In India he was trying and having some success, but he got this order. So our Gurudev also told, when I was in Vrindavan in our mat, and I heard that Srila Sai Maharaj is staying in Radha Damodar temple. He is a disciple of Prabhupada, so the god brother of my Gurudev, so naturally my object of respect. So I want to go there, I want to get his darshan, I want to bow down to him and pray for his grace. So our Gurudev went there and and met Sai Maharaj, and Sai Maharaj nicely received him, and he said, I am publishing some English writings. You please read, you go through this. And he gave him some Back to Godhead magazine and that Bhagavatam which he started, some writings, you read. Then Gurudev said, I was reading in front of him, but it was difficult to read because Vrindavan press, that quality was not so good and it was indistinct, but he was reading. Then our Gurudev told him that my Gurudev is here now in Vrindavan. Will you not come to our mat and also meet him? Then Sai Maharaj said, yes, I will go. Because Sai Maharaj was also helped much by our Parang Gurudev even before, when he was still Grihasta. He got one contagious disease, I forgot, very difficult, and also expensive treatment was for that. So his family members already, they distanced themselves from him and they did not care. So when our Parang Gurudev heard this, immediately, because Parang Gurudev has love for all God brothers, immediately, though he was a householder that time, still in Calcutta, Parang Gurudev immediately arranged one room in our temple, but was protected and everything, so that no one, and he engaged his own disciples in the service of him, and also he collected all the necessary money. It was difficult because it was much, and after 6 months he was cured. That was before. So now Sai Maharaj, when he heard, yes, I will go. So our Gurudev told, they met in the room alone in our Vrindavan mat, and they were speaking alone for about half an hour or maybe more. Then when Sai Maharaj came out from the room, then our Gurudev escorted him to the gate. At the gate, Sai Maharaj told him, I have a desire to go to Western countries for preaching. Will you go with me? Then Gurudev said, I was surprised to hear this. And I was thinking, he's god brother of my Gurudev, like a Shiksha Guru. But my Diksha Guru, he gave me responsibility. I was the secretary of the mat, and there are many works unfinished. They have to be done. So what I should do now? Then he said, I remained silent. Then after some time, I said, I'm sorry, I cannot go because I have many engagements given by my Gurudev here for the mission, so I cannot go. Then Sai Maharaj was disappointed. He said, because he said it would help me if someone qualified like you would go with me to Western countries. My Guru said I could not go at that time. So, and he was trying to get some help also from others, but ultimately, because it was Krishna's desire, he had to go alone by ship and with nothing material possessions. But he had real possession. That is surrender to Guru and Krishna. That is real wealth, real possession. If someone has this, he has everything. Like son of a king does not directly have anything, but everything is available to him because he's a son of king. Like that, one who is surrendered to Guru and Krishna, he has everything. Nothing is lacking. Krishna is maintainer, Krishna is protector, and he really wanted to serve his Gurudev. That is why he was successful. Also, on the ship, when he was going, he had to undergo many hardships and disease, heart attacks, all this. But all the time he was praying to Krishna on the ship also, and reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, you will find in his diary. And he was praying, and by one song, he prayed, "Oh Krishna, it will be very pious for you if you help me in this preaching, because my Guru Radharani," here Radharani, my Guru Radharani means Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, because Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is Nayan Muni Manjari in Golok Vrindavan, maid servant Manjari of Radharani, Andarup Manjari. So he or she, that is same as Radharani, she ordered me to preach. She ordered me, so Krishna, you please help me. Because if Radharani will be pleased, then it will be very good for you. Krishna punya tava hobe bhai, Radharani kushi hobe. It will be very pious for you, Krishna, if Radharani is satisfied. So you help me. In this way he was praying to Krishna, and he got that. Srila Sridhar Maharaj explained that in such special way he was praying that Krishna had to bless him and help him. And also he was empowered by Nityananda Prabhu to spread this so much in mass, because Nityananda Prabhu has that service for mass preaching, so he was empowered on that ship. Then he came to America and he said, Krishna, you will find in his song. You brought me here. So now do what you want to do with me. I will dance as you will whistle your flute. I am fully surrendered to you. Whatever you want to do with me, you do. So that is the real world. Complete surrender. That is why he was successful. To fulfill the prediction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Already he told 500 years back, Prithivite ache, Joto Nagaradigram Sarvatra Prachar Hoive Mor Nam. In this whole earth, how many villages, towns, cities, everything is there. Everywhere my name will be preached. Mahaprabhu predicted. So it was fulfilled practically by Srila Sai Maharaj on the order of Prabhupada. It was spreading because of Krishna's blessings and desire, and he's a fully surrendered soul, awakened soul. So awakened soul can awake other sleeping souls. If I myself am sleeping, how I will awake others? Impossible. But awakened soul, he can awake so many. And he awake so many because he's awakened soul. To inspire them to give up nonsense and to serve Krishna. One time, one reporter asked, because before some yogis, they were going and they were showing some magic with materializing things and some these things, mystical powers. So one reporter asked him, you also have some mystic power? Then Sai Maharaj, you don't see? You don't see? These cats and dogs